So here we have typed the program, that is define calc something program is typed here. So this is function header def followed by the function name, and then inside the parentheses we have passed the variable that is x. At the end colon we have given. So this is known as function definition or function header. And then r is equal to 2x square, so return r. So these two statements are belong to this function calc something. The other two statements, if you look at these two statements, are known as top level statements or main statement. So when we are executing this entire program, first the statement, main statement, first line only is going to be executed, and then second line, that is calc something, is called. Then the value what we have got from the user, that is enter a number. So whatever value we are entering for a, that number is passed to this x. Then that x is substituted here, and we will get the result after it returns the value r. So after returning the value, then the print statement will get that value from this function, and then it will print the result. So we will see how this program is giving the result for us. So in order to run this program, we need to click on run and then run module F5 also we can enter. So already we have executed the program by giving the value 3. We got the correct result. Same like we will give number 2. So 2 square is 4, 2 star 4 is 8. So 8 will be the answer now. So like this we can execute the program. Hi students, now we are going to open Python 3.7. So let us search Python 3.7. So Python 3.7, 64-bit operating system, no, 64-bit version software we are going to open. So Python 64-bit version software we have opened now. So in this we are going to just open the file. Already I have created some of the programs that we will see now. Okay, so say sample 1 already I have explained to you. Now I'm going to open the sample 2. So in this program, we are going to see the difference between the that is a statement which is belongs to the function and statements which are belongs to the main program. Okay, so if you see the indentation level, that is in the define greet. No, see here in this def greet under we have print hi there. The statement alone is available under greet function. But if you look at the other two statements, that is print at the topmost level right now and then inside main, these two statements are belongs to top level statements, are we will call these statements are main statements. So for this example is given in your book. If you go through this, you'll understand in a better way. So define, if you execute this, only these two statements will get executed first. That is at the topmost level right now will be executed first, because these two are at the same level of this DEF. Okay, so if you look at this indentation, that's why indentation is very much important in Python programming. That is 4 white spaces is given for this print statement, that is hi there. This statement is belongs to this greet function, and these two are belongs to main statement. So whenever you are executing any function or any sub program, no, like this is called as sub program or function. So if you are executing this, first main statement only will get executed. So how to identify the first main statement? So that statement will be at the leftmost corner, that is the left side margin of the screen only it will be available. So if you look at the other statements which are belongs to the function, no, that will be having some 4 white spaces. Okay, so based on that we will understand which is main statement and which is the which statements are belongs to some other function or subprogram. Okay, so now if you are executing this, only the first main two statements are going to be executed now, because we didn't call that is greet function. No, the greet function under what statement is available, that is not going to be executed. So now we will run this. So only the first two statements are executed here. If you call this greet function only, that hi there will get executed. Okay, so like that we will get the output for this program. Okay. Okay, students, now we are going to see about our next program, that is define sum of x comma y. So this is the function definition. So this function is going to perform the addition of two numbers, that is x and y. X and y is going to be added. That result is stored in the resultant variable yes, and then that value is going to be returned here. And here these three statements are main statements. Now number one is assigned assigned as a first variable, so that is used to get the value for x. Okay, so num1 will be getting the value in the form of integer. So we need to enter the number, so that will be converted into integer, then that is assigned to num1. So in num2 variable, we are getting another number, that is second number. So both the numbers are will be assigned by the user. And next is we are going to call inside the print statement, we are going to call the sum function. Okay, so print inside, we are writing that sum function. So same name only we need to write. If you change the name of the function here when you are making the function call, that is the function definition name and the function call name, it should be similar. If you are using capital letters anywhere in the middle, in the function call also it should be reflected, otherwise you will get a error, so the program will not produce any kind of output. Okay, so function call and function definition name should be similar. So sum of num1 comma num2, these two parameters are called as what? Actual parameters, because we are passing the actual value from the user. Okay, so from user we are getting the value. Directly also we can assign the value. So which variables or parameters or arguments are used for passing the value through function call, that is known as actual argument or actual parameter. So here num1 and num2, both are called as actual parameters. But here if you notice the difference, that is in formal parameter and actual parameter, we are not using the same name. You need to give different names only for differentiating the actual parameter and the formal parameter. So here num1, num2 are actual parameters, and these two are known as the variables which are used inside the function definition or function header is known as formal parameter or formal argument. Okay, so this difference you should know when you are studying this functions lesson. And this num1 value is copied to this x, and then num2 is copied to this y. Okay, so next x will be assigned with num1 and y will be assigned with num2. Both are in integer. So result also will be in which format, which data type? Integer data type only. So return yes. So when the value s is returned, that will be passed to this sum of num1 comma num2. So here that s is going to be passed here, then immediately that s alone will be getting printed. So now let us see how it is giving the output for us. Okay, so run. So enter a number, it is asking for first number. So we have entered 10 and next number 20 we have entered. So immediately it will give 30 as the answer. Okay, so like this we will get the output for this program. So next we will see the other program. That is the perimeter of a rectangle. This program we will open and we will run. Okay, so perimeter of rectangle. Just look at this program. Define perimeter rectangle L comma B. So we need to get the two values from the user, that is length and breadth. So length is equal to int of input of enter length, and breadth also we need to enter the breadth value also in integer. So after getting length and breadth, it should be passed through the print statement itself. We are passing the two values, that is length and breadth are passed. And the formula here for finding the perimeter of rectangle is 2 star L plus B. Okay, 2 into L plus B. So like a manual way we will write now 2, then immediately parenthesis we will use, then L plus B we will write inside the parenthesis. Like that we should not write in a system. Okay, so we need to use that multiplication operator after the 2. So 2 multiplication and then opening parenthesis L plus B and then close the parenthesis. So this statement, return statement, will return the answer to the print statement. So here it will get printed. So when where the function call is returned, no, here the answer will be printed, because the answer will be returned to this function only, because from this function call only this return 2 star L plus B is performed. So that answer will be printed here. After this, the perimeter of rectangle is, so immediately the result will get printed. So we will see the output here. So length we will enter, and then breadth we will enter. So the perimeter of rectangle is 52. 2 star L plus B. So L plus B both are added. That is 26. 26 into 2, 52. So like that we will get the answer when we are executing this statement. So next we will open another program. That is area of rectangle. So perimeter of rectangle we have seen. Now we are going to see the area of rectangle. So for the area of rectangle, the formula is A star B. Okay, so once the A value and B value both are going to be multiplied. So A1 and B1 we are entering from the user. Then the function call is made, that is area rectangle A1 comma B1. These two are actual values or actual parameters. So here the values are passed as the variables. So A1, B1 like that we are passing the variables, and then that is through variable the value is going to be passed. So that A1 value is copied here and B1 value is copied in B, and we are multiplying A and B, and then that result is going to be displayed here in this place. So after this area of rectangle is, you will get the answer. So now we will see the output for this. So first area 1 we are entering, and then area sorry, B1 we are entering. So those two are multiplied, that is 3 and 4 is going to be multiplied. So this is the answer for area of rectangle. Okay, next we will see next program. So after area of rectangle, we will see perimeter of circle. So this is the program for perimeter of circle. Right. So for perimeter of circle, 2 pi r is the formula. Okay, so return statement after we are writing 2 star, instead of pi we need to write the pi value, that is 3.1459. Okay, then r. So only r value we need to get from the user. Other two are literals. Literals are constants we will say. So radius we are entering from the user, and then that function call is made, that is perimeter circle. If you look at the name of this function and here the function call name also, both should be similar. Then only this function will be called here. So this is known as actual parameter. So through this rad only we are sending the radius value, and then that rad is copied here in this r, and then 2 pi r. So the formula is applied here. Then we will get the answer for this perimeter of circle, that is 2 pi r we will get as answer. So now just we will see by entering some radius value for this r. Okay, so 5 we will enter. So the answer is 31.459. Many zeros after that 3. So like that we will get the perimeter of circle answer. Okay, so next we will see another program. That is area of square we will look at. So for area of square, the formula is a square. Okay, so area value, one side value we will enter here, and then that area is going to be applied, copied here in this a, and then a star a is performed. So we will get the answer for this area of square like this. Okay, we will enter one single value from the user, and then we will see the result. See here, we are going to run this program, and now we will enter the area value. So 4 only will be the answer for area of square. Okay, so next we will open another program. Area of rectangle, everything we have seen. Now without a return. Okay, so function without return we will see. So just without return means return statement is not used here. So okay, so if we are not using return statement, how the this statement is going to be printed, let us see. So we need to call that function now. Okay, so otherwise it won't display any answer. So greet function should be called. So like this we need to enter the function name, that is greet, opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. At the end we should not give anything, and then press enter key. So you will get answer immediately. If you are not using return statement, we need to call that function from the interpreter. Okay, So next we will open another program that is which is given in your page 93. Okay, so just open the page and check it. So this is the sample program given for you for explaining about how the main statements are, that is flow of execution in function call. We have seen one topic, no? For that topic, this example program is given. Just take in your book and look at this example. Okay. Um, so let us see this program. So this is also like adding of two numbers only. S is equal to x plus y, return yes, calc sum x comma y. So this is the function definition. And then we are getting two numbers as the floating point values. Okay, so floating point value we are getting from the user. So that numbers are assigned, passed here using this calc sum function. And it is copied here, that num1 value and num2 value is going to be copied here. So finally we will get the result. That result is going to be assigned to this sum. So by using this return statement, sum is going to be assigned. So first which statement is going to be executed? First num1 and then num2, and then this function call is made. So when this function call is made immediately the flow of control will be transferring to this calc x comma y, and then s is equal to x plus y is executed, and then return s is going to be executed. Then only it will come and assign that value to this place, and then that value is going to be, final result is assigned to sum. Then the sum is printed here using the print statement. So now let us see the running of this program. So we need to enter the first number. So 3 we will enter, then second number 7. So it is in floating point only. So when we are entering, it will be like integer, but it is converted internally as the floating point with the help of that float function. Okay. So now if you look at the answer, it is in floating point only. So 10.0. So internally in memory, the value what we are entering is going to be converted into floating point. So like this, we will get the output for calc sum function. Okay. So next, let us see another program. That is the last program. That is available in page number 102 in your book. Okay. So it's the same program only, but number 1, number 2 here we have assigned, and then that number is going to be printed in the same print statement itself. Okay, so that sum is going to be printed here in the print statement. So same program only. So just we'll enter number. So we got the answer like this. Okay. So with this we will end up this today's class, and in the next class we will see returning, how to return multiple values, and the positional arguments, keyword arguments related examples we will see in the next class. So after this, if you have any doubt, you can ask to me, and just for half an hour you can take up some 1 mark related tests. Okay.